The old workhorse serves me again. I got this old Ariens snowblower on here on my trailer. I got this garden tractor in this trailer I think 5 years ago now, and I've been using them heavily ever since. So happy I didn't sell that the other day. That would have been so stupid, because I wouldn't have been able to drag this over. That's been sitting out over in the yard in the other meadow for, well, a year I think. I got this last year, and I'm going to see what it takes to get this old beast running. The drive axles are seized. I'll tell you, another time I could have used some help. That was a monster of a job getting that on there alone, because the drive axle's seized. There's a mouse nest in where the drive axle is, so I'm going to have to figure what's wrong with that, and then go from there. And then I don't know what's available here. No carburetor. It's an old Briggs, but I think what I'm going to do is see if it sparks and see if I can find a carb for that. No, sorry. Huh? Okay, that's confusing. Here it says Tecumseh. I didn't think it looked like a Briggs. Here it says Tecumseh. Here it says Briggs and Stratton Authorized Service Center. I saw that. I thought it didn't look like a Briggs, but because Tecumseh has this curved shroud, but it said Briggs right on it. I was like, well, okay. So on second thought, that motor is probably done, because Tecumseh's parts are harder to come by, and I don't really like Tecumseh, to be honest. And I have no parts, no carburetors for such a machine. So I'm probably going to see if I can pop on a different engine on here, see how hard it'll be to do so. I don't know if that's a 5, probably a 5 horse. It was electric start, plug in the wall electric start, which I'll never be able to use off the grid. But I want to see what I can do with this old beast and see if it's fixable. If not, then it's scrap metal, and I'll see if about getting a different one. But a wide snowblower like that will help a lot out here at the off-grid homestead. And a nice warm sunny day like today is a perfect time to be checking that out. Now if I can figure out what's wrong with the drivetrain, and if everything else works mechanically, then I'll have to replace the bushings and bearings on here. That'll be a $20 fix right there. I already checked looked up the parts on the internet. So if everything else is mechanically sound with this old thing, and I can get an engine on there, then I'll have it running. But we'll see how it goes. I'll do this after lunch. The Jeep right now is on standby until I figure out how I'm going to get that wheel off. And then tomorrow is brakes on the car. So I'm so happy we got this warm weather right now. I also topped off some of the fluids in the Jeep. Checked the oil, checked the power steering fluid, checked the brake fluid, checked the antifreeze, just general maintenance. I did all that a bit ago as well. Now I'm going to do this now. I made up my mind. I'm going to do this now. Because I want to bring something over. I've got something cool for the Jeep I want to bring over as well, so I want to get this off and go grab that before lunch. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. Easy if I just took that off. The wagon's easier to handle than the snowblower is. There you go. If I can figure out those wheels, I'll be alright. Well, I want to run over and grab the rack for the Jeep that I want to put on. A lot of people are wondering why I'm not working on the house is because I've got insulation for the shed, but if I put up insulation without putting the paneling in, the mice are going to tear that up real fast. So I got the insulation stored in the Jeep, which is the safest place for it right now. Even the RV has been overtaken by mice. So right now the insulation is in the Jeep. When I get the paneling, then I'll put up the insulation and the paneling together and close it off. And I've got the flashing for the bottom as well to keep mice from getting in through the bottom. So that'll be a project that I'll be doing on next payday. I am getting wood and stuff gathered though for construction and stacking it up and preparing it for building the shed, because even when the snow's flying I can still work on the shed and the greenhouse. Well, I hate mice very much. That's what caused the damage inside here in the drivetrain. The chain is rusted up because of mouse nests holding moisture up inside and caused some damage. So I'm going to put some WD-40 on there and see if I can free it up. It's doubtful, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, if I can free that up or not. The drive chain and the linkages, the shift linkage and everything else is also rusted up. If I can free that up, this will be salvageable. If not, then not. I lubed the wheels up in the chain, and I got them to move a little. So now I'm checking the clutch mechanism to see what we got down here. There might be hope for this. So that's the it's an interesting setup. That's the clutch. So that's the engage and disengage. That engages the drive system. Okay, that's freed up bit by bit. Now how's that work? That's supposed to raise up. That's engaged. Huh? Something's happening. What am I doing? I'm supposed to pull this way. So I'm just tinkering with this and see if it's worth fixing. If all it needs is an engine. Oh, up is engaged. Oh. What? So that is supposed to move somewhere. Sure exactly what moves where or how in this old beast. But if I can get something to move, I think I can fix the drivetrain on this anyway. The wheel drive mechanism. I think I'll let that soak a day. Not like I'm going to do this overnight. I don't even know if that pulley will spin. It does spin. Wow, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, the drive mechanism engages the engine. If you watch here, when I spin the the blade, it does engage the engine. It's hard. I was doing it when it was on its side. Now I can't get it to do anything. Funny. Well, I was spinning the engine. I had the thing over on its side and I was spinning the engine by hand with the drive. By spinning the blades. By turning this, I should be spinning the blades. Yeah, the whole thing spins. It all spins. So that all works. The drive mechanism works. So I'm probably going to get rid of this engine. I highly doubt it'll have spark. Although, if all I need is a carburetor, I guess it's worth trying, huh? If it's got spark, if I can find a carburetor for that. Although there's some junk inside. I don't know. Bugs have been in there. I'll have to take off the head and have a look at the valves. This surprisingly moves. Well, I wonder if a 3-horse engine would run it. What do you guys think? If I put a Briggs 3-horse engine on there, that would run that. If the pulley lines up the same, I might be able to do something like that. I'm guessing it lines up. I want to continue lubricating things on this. I want to get the rotating linkage going as well, but I especially want to work on the drive wheels on the bottom. This is really heavy though. I need to turn it over upside down to be able to work on them, but I don't want to wreck the handlebars. So anyway, I'm going to play with this until it gets dark. Well, there's that one thing working nice, smoothly. Well, they built these old beasts to run. If you took care of them, they were a lifetime investment. All you gotta do is lube them up and they go again. Just amazing. I'll hit that with grease properly later on. I just sprayed it with WD-40 and worked it, and it's working smooth now. Really amazing old machines. Well, I've got the clutch working. I've got the drivetrain almost completely working. The chain is basically rusted up badly and a couple links are not moving. But I'm going to have the entire drive system working. If I get spark out of the engine, and then we'll see how it goes. But I think first, before I do anything else, I'm going to put oil in a cylinder and check for spark on that. And wouldn't be surprised if the thing ran with a carburetor. But anyway, I'm going to keep working on it and lubing things up. I poured oil in the cylinder. I got the spark plug sitting here on the ground. But no spark. I think that was asking for too much. Expecting spark from such an old engine that was sitting outside. That's asking too much. I think that I'll pull it off and see if an old Briggs will sit on there. I think I'm going to have to get my jacket though, because it's getting cold. And see what it takes to put that on there, or to get that engine off and swap out. I think this will run. Got the engine off. It was really easy, of course. And I got it over here with no spark. If I can find a carburetor for it, I'd have to take off the shroud and the flywheel and probably sand the magneto. And sometimes it also means coil and points and condenser replacement. And I'm going to see if I can just find a 5-horse Briggs somewhere that I can pop on here. But my goal is to try to make this as low cost budget as I can, because I got the machine for free. And although I've got the wheels freeing up, I want to see how cheap I can build this old snowblower before the snow sets in and before I really need it. But again, I'm definitely going to have to get those bearings and bushings. They're shot. That's for sure. But I do have the blades from the engine through the blades works, and I've got the wheels almost completely fixed up. I think I'm actually going to put some oil in or some air in the wheels. That's getting pretty late, but I'll do that tomorrow. I'll put air in the wheels, and then I'll be able to work on that better. So, got a little bit of a pretty sky tonight. I don't know if that's going to show up on camera at all. Camera never shows everything as nicely as your eyes can. There's streaks of colors in the sky. I really don't see it in the camera display as I do with my eyes. But there's pretty streaks of colors. There it's sort of focusing in a little bit better. Well, God definitely gave us beauty above and on the ground. Well, everybody, peaceful ending to a good day as quiet sits on the meadow.